Hey folks, hope you're having a wonderful night or day. Today I wanted to bring up an interesting topic because I've seen some questions pertaining to an upcoming survival sandbox called Nightingale. And these pertain to firstly, if it'll be an MMO, but also if it might feature PvP. If you're unaware, Nightingale is a rich crafting and building first-person online shared world survival sandbox that was revealed recently at the Game Awards, and it's being spearheaded by a company known as Inflexion Games, which was formerly known as Improbable Canada. The team has over 100 staff, and some of its veterans are made up of developers that worked on BioWare titles such as Mass Effect, Dragon Age, and Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. And alongside titles like Fable, Risen, Two Worlds, Elder Scrolls, and many more, these three titles also made up a big part of my childhood, so I am extremely interested to see what it can bring to the table. Now to continue on the topic, Nightingale so far has been advertised as a shared world set within a Victorian gas lamp fantasy setting. Players will be able to traverse mystical portals and explore a series of dangerous realms in search of Nightingale, the last haven of humanity. Past that, we don't get a whole lot of information on how many players will be or can be in the same area at once. They say that you can play solo or with friends, and meet other people as you explore into these different realms. In the trailer during some parts, we can see as much as 9 people in the same place, but besides that, we don't get any direct confirmation. On the PvP side, we did recently get confirmation that there will be no PvP, so this game will function similar to Valheim or Icarus. One thing that does have me curious, however, is this realm system. And I think that if they wanted to, if this game did feature a vast amount of different realms, all with different biomes or procedural generation or something like that, then I wonder if the community would mind too much if one or a few of those realms were PvP based. They did say that they would be more and more dangerous as we go further and further after all. But as far as the RPG side of things go, we do know that there will be RPG aspects. This game was in fact going to be originally advertised as an online RPG. And the fact that this dev team has people on it that worked on previous BioWare games, including the studio head Aaron Flynn, I'm expecting that we will be getting a rich and detailed backstory / lore. For the MMO side of it though, because the game talks about itself as a shared world, it almost makes me think that it might work akin to how No Man's Sky originally said it would on launch, but possibly at an even larger scale in this game. Recently, survival sandboxes that are also classified as MMOs have been using what's known as the grid system. If you've heard of Atlas, Myth of Empires, or the Life is Feudal MMO, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Normally in survival sandboxes, we would see servers that are made up of about 100 players, but they're all unconnected. Some may be private servers, public servers, ones with mods, ones without. But a few of these sandboxes have taken multiples of said public servers and combined them all into one via the system I described before. The way the grid system works is that let's say you have a 64 by 64 area, that area would count as its own 100 player server. But if you were to move towards any edge of the map and cross into the next, you would enter another interconnected server, or like I said, a grid. This meant that realistically, you could have up to 10,000 players in one mega server at a time. And a lot of times with these grids, even though they were normally capped at about 100 to 150 players, they could still handle a little bit over their limit. With Nightingale, I do think it's possible that this could be the case, and if it is, then some would probably classify it as being an MMO. But I wouldn't want to say that because they haven't confirmed anything on that side of things, and also because they haven't advertised that tagline at all. I wouldn't want to say it regardless just to be on the safe side, because very often in this genre, we've seen games be tagged as MMOs but not actually provide that experience, and people would get unnecessarily hyped or disappointed as a result. I will be following these two topics very closely though, so if any details pop up about how these systems will work in Nightingale, or if they'll be there, I'll be sure to let you know. One thing I will say about what we could potentially expect from the population size, Inflexion Games is in partnership with Improbable, and Nightingale will be using Improbable's IMS system as showcased in the last shot of the trailer. Improbable was also in partnership with the game called Scavengers, and in combination with Spatial OS, their IMS system allowed for very large amounts of player population tests, just like this one that featured over 4,000 players when they tested it. So I think it's entirely possible for Nightingale to feature the same or even surpass it, and easily allow for hundreds or potentially 1,000 players or more to all be within the same realm at one time. This is something that really has me curious about Nightingale, so I really hope we find out more about this soon. But thanks so much for watching, that's all I've got for now, and have a wonderful night or day. Farewell.